Hey there, I'm Stacey Harris, and I like helping people be healthy, fit, and fabulous at any and every age. And today we're going to be making some granola. Now it's going to be very simple, clean ingredients, all organic, that you can then dress up if you like. We're going to start with just a basic recipe, and then you can throw in any add-ins that you like. We'll start with 3 cups of organic oats into a bowl. Then we're going to throw in some pumpkin seeds. I prefer to use organic pumpkin seeds. These are from Vitacost, but sometimes I also get them from Trader Joe's. And we're going to use 1/4 cup of raw pumpkin seeds. I love incorporating pumpkin seeds into my diet because they are full of nutrients. They're high in magnesium, full of antioxidants, high in fiber and zinc. So it's a good thing to sprinkle on your salad or incorporate in a recipe like this. Next, we're going to put in 1/4 cup of nuts. Now you can use whatever nuts that you like. I'm going to use a combination of raw cashew pieces and some almonds, but walnuts are also delicious and super healthy. So if you have those on hand, you might choose to use walnuts. I just prefer the taste of cashews and almonds. And nuts are so important for your brain health. And studies show that if you eat a handful of nuts every day, you're going to live longer. That's from Dan Buettner's The Blue Zones, if any of you are familiar with that. Almonds are so important to incorporate in your diet. They're full of healthy fats, protein, fiber, vitamin E. They help lower cholesterol. They help lower your blood sugar. They help curb your appetite and aid in weight loss. These almonds that I have are whole almonds, which you can use if you like. I prefer to chop them up just a bit, so I'm just going to chop them up first. Now, if you do choose to chop up your nuts or use pieces, nothing precise, doesn't have to be tiny. I just prefer them to be a little bit smaller. And if you are using nut pieces and you buy them already chopped up, I do find sometimes that cashew pieces are actually more affordable than whole cashews. So I did happen to have some cashew pieces, so saves you from the chopping and it's a little bit cheaper. Cashews are also a great option for plant protein. They're low in sugar, high in fiber, full of copper, magnesium, and manganese, which are so important for brain health and bone health, and that's what we want, right? Strong, healthy brains and bones. So once you've added all the dry ingredients to the bowl, it looks something like this. So now you need something to help it stick together. You could use a nut butter, you could use some tahini, or I do like to add a little bit of sweetness, so I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And I do like to use, once again, the organic. And finally, if you'd like to add a little extra flavor, I'm going to add some organic vanilla extract. I would say maybe half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, just really depends on your taste. And I'm also going to toss in some cinnamon. Now you could also make it a chocolatey flavored granola with cacao powder, but today I'm just going to keep it basic. I'm also going to add in some salt. I don't have a problem with salt or high blood pressure, but if you do, just skip this step. Now we're just going to toss it all together, getting everything evenly coated before we put it on our baking sheet. If you have parchment paper, which I do often use for anyone who watches my videos, you've probably seen me use parchment paper before, but for this recipe I actually prefer to use a silicone mat because it helps keep it crispy, and once again you don't need any oil, and most of you know I prefer to cook and bake without oil. So once we have this evenly coated, we're just going to lay it out onto the silicone mat baking sheet. Spreading it out evenly on the mat, on the baking tray. Probably should have mentioned we should have preheated our oven, but we'll get to that in a second. But if you're making it at home, you might want to preheat it before you start this process. Sometimes my oven can be a little bit noisy, so I don't really want that noise while we're shooting the video. So now that we have our granola all spread out on the silicone mat, On the baking sheet, we're gonna pop it into the 325-degree oven on the bottom rack, and we're gonna bake it for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven, but bake it until it's a golden brown. Now, after it's cooked, it can either be completely done, or if you'd like to toss in some other add-ins that you like, I happen to have some golden raisins and some apricots, dried apricots, that have just been sitting around for a little bit and I just haven't been using them. So I thought this will be nice to give it a little bit of extra sweetness. You could also use dates, you could use chocolate chips. I would choose a vegan chocolate chip, but whatever you like. And any unused portion you can store in a Tupperware or in a mason jar or anything that seals tightly to keep it fresh. But make sure not to put it into those containers until it is completely cool. It's been in the oven for about half the time, so I went in and just stirred it around a little bit, and I'm telling you, the house smells incredible. That combination of cinnamon and vanilla and maple syrup, it's just heaven. So as it's finishing up cooking, I decided to chop up, just roughly chop about 6 dried apricots, and I also have some golden raisins. So as soon as it comes out, I'm gonna stir these in so it just blends together while it's still hot, and then wait for it to cool. Okay, it's just come out of the oven and it smells sensational. You can see it's a toasty golden brown, and if you'd like to toss in some mix-ins, now's the time. So here I'm going to just mix in my dried apricots and my golden raisins. And we do it now so that the heat kind of helps it to all bind together. And then all you have to do is wait for it to cool. I'm gonna be honest and tell you that I can't even wait for it to cool. You can probably still hear my oven cooling down in the background. I'm just gonna have a small portion right now with some plant-based milk. I'm using some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, but you could use it as a topping for plant-based yogurt or vegan ice cream, or you could just keep a little bit in a Ziploc and toss it in your purse, keep it with you as a healthy snack on the go. So here I have just a little bite and let you know how it tastes. Just a hint of sweetness, crunchy, scrumptious, healthy, delicious, and nutritious. Just like all the foods I want to put into my body. And I hope that you'll choose to put into yours to help you stay healthy, fit, and fabulous. I'm Stacey Harris. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.